Well, I think I just use the strategies that I use in life, which is sometimes I will walk off the floor where I can still hear everything is being broadcast, and maybe just walk a little bit in a hallway. And sometimes I go to the bathroom, and whether it's pray a moment or have a good cry about something, and then come back out and say, okay, I need to go to the mic and speak to this on those very intense times. I think the value of having my husband with me and us having a little small cottage that we stay in, so it's very homey, really does help too, of going home at night, and there is some sense of normalcy there. And I think that helps me relax and rest a little bit. So I think those are the things that I use in the moment. Sometimes I will actually pull out a box of milk duds. My desk mate always laughed and knew if I was pulling out milk duds before the afternoon, then I must be really a little frustrated about something. And so I do that. From time to time, I might do something like that. And then I always have a little box of milk duds because you can just take a few. I love them, and then kind of just say, okay, I'm better now. So. Wow, that's a great question. It's hard to say which is the most, but when I face those challenges, usually what's happening is we're being called upon as the legislature to balance some very important interests. So for me, that's hard when I relate to and value each of those interests. So, but how do we balance? That's in many ways encapsulates a lot of what I believe the legislative process is about. So when we have an issue where there is maybe a religious freedom aspect to it, maybe there's a parental rights aspect to it, but then there's also a child protection right attached to it. All important issues. How do we balance those interests? All valid. And so doing that is challenging. And I really have to look at it issue by issue and say, what is the balance here? What is the right balance for people, for these different interests? And but there are trade-offs sometimes. And I think that's always challenging because I do think we're there to try to get the balance right and do it together as a body, at least as a majority of a body, to get those balanced in a way that fits really our constituencies, really what I think is best for the people of Wyoming as a whole.